Before we get into it, do you have anything you want to share about you or Five Sense Collective? You guys are up to some really powerful, incredible things right now. So you want to share before I ask you a couple questions?
Yeah. Hello, everyone tuning in. I'm Drew, the co-founder of Five Sense Collective. I'm a yoga instructor, an intuitive bodywork, a Reiki master, and just a soul on this planet, acting as a vessel to provide tools and suggestions for everyone's healing journey. And as far as Five Sense Collective goes, me and my dear sister Kirsha started Five Sense Collective back in October 2018. And our goal and mission for that is the same thing, just bringing healing to all of our fellow souls and really meeting everybody on their journey exactly where they are. A bunch of different segments, whether it's breath work, uh, you know, vinyasa, moving meditation, Reiki meditation, sound healing, all the above, and different interviews and crafts just like this.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Where are you currently and how are you occupying your time?
So I'm in my house right now, right behind Calabasas in this little area called West Hills. As far as a routine, to be totally honest with you, routines don't work for
Please.
me. For me, I feel like I'm putting myself in a box. I'm not allowing myself to be flexible and not allowing myself to move with, the fluidity of my life. I feel like it's super important in times of, seriousness and uncertainty to tap back into your youth and that playfulness. It's such a masculine world that we live in, always having to do something, succeed, overstretch ourselves and move through our bandwidth and make money and make decisions and all these things. So I think it's really important, especially now since we are forced into our feminine and really allowing ourselves to open up through our feminine, that we have to tap into that playfulness. So if I'm gonna work out, I want to make sure that my heart feels like, yeah, I'm feeling good. Maybe work out and get your heart rate going. If I'm like, looking in the mirror and I'm like, I should work out, that's not the time that I feel I need to work out. That's the time I need to sit in some grass and feel into my heart.
This wasn't something I planned on asking. So you want to keep the darkness out. How can you suggest for some of the people who don't really know how to tap into the light?
That's a good
How
question.
can you suggest more light versus shadow?
But when I think of darkness, I think of like our shadow, right? Because anything that we feel is dark is really a reflection of our subconscious and our shadow minds and our shadow bodies. The shadow part of our physical being, you can think about it as your back. And I have a really beautiful sacred yantra on my back, a tattoo on my back that represents my shadow spirit coming forward through my heart space. It symbolizes the shadow body in the back of my body moving into the front of my body so I can live in harmony with the light and the dark. The integration of duality, that light and dark, masculine, feminine, left and right. And that's really what my sound healing is about, and the curation of my crystal bowls, how they've come together, and my gong. It's just they are masculine and feminine and that harmony. I feel like we all need to experience and validate that darkness in order to live in the light. If you feel like you're moving into that dark space, or if you feel like darkness is seeping into you, whether you are watching the news or taking in content, and when you are taking it in, ask yourself, am I enjoying this? What kind of space is it putting me in? And do I feel like that's a safe space for me?
I pray
Mm-hmm.
so much
Yeah.
that this is an awakening for so many. Is there anything that you want to touch on?
If you had mentioned you had a really hard time feeling and you were always, stagnant and congested, and, same thing here. Instead of sitting there asking, why is this happening to me? It's like, what is my lesson? What
Right.
is my heart saying? What is the universe gifting me in this opportunity? Because nothing's happening to us and we're not happening to anything. It's all this beautiful journey, and it's all weaving in and out, and we just have to figure out how we're going to dance. The earth is always going to be here to catch us. The sky is always going to be there to shine light on us. The moon is always going to be there to shine light in the darkness. Trusting the process, in this time of darkness and uncertainty, just allow yourself to feel.
As long as we're awake, or as long as we wake up and we're breathing and our eyes open every single day,
Yeah.
that's really the most important part. And the rest is going to happen. Life is tough, but I used to always say no matter what, the sun is always going to rise and the sun is always going to set. And, in the darkest times, it's like, yes, people are sick right now and people are losing money, but we still have the opportunity to wake up the next day and, I'm learning every day about trust and the process and the universe. So I really appreciate you touching on that.
There's so many different ways to volunteer, whether it's in person or there's also ways to volunteer online. There's ways to volunteer with your loved ones. If you have a family member who's compromised, call them up. If you have someone, there's so many people in the addiction community right now who are relapsing or about to relapse or about to overdose. If you know someone who is struggling with substance abuse, any kind, overeating, porn or sex, whatever it is, shopping. I'm a shopaholic. Workaholic. I'm a workaholic. Call them up and just be like, hey, I'm here to listen. Let's talk about it. And don't give them advice unless they ask. And if they ask, fantastic. But just allow a shoulder to lean on, an ear to listen, and a heart to be open. That's one of the most beautiful ways to volunteer.
That. First of all, you were not aggressive, you were passionate, and even if you were aggressive, I think in this circumstance, it's totally cool, and I take you for what you are. It's interesting because I wrote 3 things that I wanted to do today.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was to reach out to someone and give support. Just someone who maybe I haven't connected with, and you just inspired me with, I know who that call is going to be today. I'm so fortunate to have so many incredible people in my life, but whether it's in the healing space or the mental health space, and it breaks my heart. I read a post yesterday that says, the gist of it was, we know what's going on with children because it's reported here and there because people see things. And now that kids are at home in their houses, we don't know and we don't see. So whether
this was my first thought. This was I literally just got chills over my whole body. This was the first thought I had as soon as the stay-home order was released. I was like, oh my God, so many domestic violence cases are gonna explode. I had some abuse growing up in my family, and I couldn't imagine going through this when I was younger.
Yeah. Totally. Even my nephew is 14 years old and so smart, and my sister is the most amazing mom, but she's a single mom. And right now they've chosen that, he's close with his dad, but he's staying with his mom completely right now. And if he wants to see the dad, they can go on a walk, and they FaceTime all the time. But it must be really, we have the freedom to go outside. They're going to start monitoring us soon. In Paris, you can't. My nephew called me the other day, and he was like, she was kind of in the background, like watching, and he started texting me while we were on FaceTime. He's like, Nick, it's rough over here. And it's like, yeah, you're a 14-year-old boy. Yeah. You're probably not easy on your mom, but it's also not easy on your mom. And it brought me right back. And I mean, my sister's an amazing mom. It's a hard time, but there's people who just don't have the coping skills. And it's like, the first thing is, with kids, they don't know. A lot of people don't know how to protect themselves, but kids aren't really equipped with that.
No.
So it's like, my heart goes out to the kids, but there's so much, whether it's domestic violence in a relationship. I was talking to my girlfriend the other day, who's a therapist. Suicide rates are going up. Please be aggressive in terms of volunteering. And this is not where I thought our Earth Day conversation would go, but
as soon as we are of service and we offer our hearts to other people, that's expanding the love and light within us to other people, which is in fact namaste. The love and light in me sees, honors, and cherishes the love and light in you. So as soon as we do that and we honor that, that's celebrating Mother Earth, and that's giving back to the collective of her energy.
You have a beautiful Earth Day meditation and sound bath. Would you mind leading us in an Earth Day maybe sound healing?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course.